Hi, this is Tony Alvarez, and this is video 9. We're going to make 5 videos on parry riposte. So this particular video may be a little longer, so we're going to talk about why you parry, how you parry, as opposed to the mechanics of the actual parries. There are actually 6 parries in modern Olympic fencing, but for the most part we only use 4. That's parry 3, which is protection of the flank, parry 4, which is protection of the chest, parry 5, protection of the head, and parry 2, protection of your abdomen, usually related to a point attack. So, why do we parry? Well, if your opponent has right away, and I'm attacking, this is my opponent, your opponent has only 3 options. 1, get touched. 2, step back, cause me to miss. Now hits his right away. Or step back, parry, riposte, and getting the touch. So whenever you parry, the right to riposte is given to you by the right of way rules. So it's very important that, specifically in Sabre, due to the timing aspects, that the parry riposte is done immediately, and that's actually what it says in the rulebook. So if you're refereeing, you will actually, and your parry riposte is done correctly, you will actually hear a sound that goes like this. So it's very fast, ba-bang, ba-bang. So the other thing that you should know is that whenever your blades are touching in Sabre, you're almost always in distance to be able to score a touch. Probably the riposte should, most of the time, unless you're a left-hander, should go to the mat or the top of the head. This gives you a very high probability of not missing. Riposte to the wrist is a very, very, very low probability it's going to work, and may end up in just becoming your opponent's parry riposte against you. So one of the things that you learn is that once you make contact with the blade, you immediately go to the mask. Very, very high probability. The only time that this is a big wrinkle is when you're fencing a right-handed fencer against a left-handed fencer. And that's a very different video that engages in a lot of other conversations. So the other is, all the parries have 2 basic problems. 1, under parry. You didn't parry enough and the score comes through. 2, over parry. This is usually when you're reaching or you're shopping for the blade. You're going to parry 4 is particularly noted for this. You're reaching for the blade, you're shopping for the blade, and what happens is if you make blade contact, you're down here, the riposte is often impossible, the referee doesn't know where it's right away. So, very important that when you make the parry, as soon as you make blade contact, the riposte is immediate, and you don't find yourself wrestling with the blade itself. So, for beginners, this is often a problem because you want to stop the blade from touching you, but you have to remember that once you make blade contact, the opponent has lost right away. It's now your right away. So, one of the things that I recommend for new students is to use a dowel or an actual drumstick to practice the actual hand manipulation of your parries. And even for experienced students, if you have a particular problem with a specific parry, for example, your parry 4 is too deep, or whenever you parry 2, your elbow comes up, to kind of reinforce or get that muscle memory down correctly. You can get these dowels at a Home Depot, Lowe's, or any store like that. They're usually about 32 inches long. Cut them in half, and you have two sticks that you can play with in terms of just actually getting the manipulation of the parry riposte. Thank you for watching this video.